To another vlog about complex PTSD. So I was looking online because there's not a lot of things available for CPTSD. Um, Fortunately, there is a lot out there when it comes to PTSD for war veterans, and if you are suffering from PTSD, definitely reach out, access those forums, access those things that are offered to you. Now, that being said, I have complex PTSD. I have it from childhood abuse, also from abuse that followed me right up till adulthood, because, you have all the best coping and emotional shit after you're, you know, groomed into a little doll that can be used whenever it wants to be. That being said, it is one of those things where it's very complicated in the sense that it's prolonged trauma. It's also trauma that can be layered. So as horrible things happen to you, like for example, in my case, a couple years of abuse in a foster home. Uh, the most complicated thing about that situation is the fact that it was both the best home I ever lived in and absolute worst. Um, how that's possible, I'm sure you're like, the fuck, how? And it comes really down to this. I had a roof over my head. I had parents that loved me. I had a family. I had friends. I had the ability to go out and do things like bike and play outside without what I would say is kind of like hovering pressure. When you're in care, there's this innate want and need to be the perfect little child so that you don't get sent to another home. That being said, I was still a child and was still probably a brat and did what most children do. Um, but because of what their son did to me, it puts this almost like tint over all the good stuff. Just 1 second, guys. My computer's trying to tell me that I need to be awake. Guess what? I am. Yeah, haven't really slept. That being said, it is one of those things where with complex PTSD, there is not a lot out there to read, to catch up on, to understand what it is that's going on in your own head. And for me, because I also have really bad anxiety, I overanalyze the shit out of this stuff. Like, if I can't sleep at night because I'm having a nightmare, my first response is not go pick up a book and try to sleep. No, my first response is, why the F is my brain doing this stuff? What can I do to get it to listen? What can I do to get it to calm down, to rationally create something? And yes, I am fidgeting a whole ton, and I am very apologetic for that. Also, I am Canadian, so you're gonna hear me say sorry a shit ton. And a lot of ums. Um, 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 um. um. But the whole point of this video was the fact that I was searching and they were talking. I saw some veterans talking to their kids about PTSD and explaining to them what that is. And it just really brought the realization to me that my conversation with my child is going to be difficult because it's not, I didn't go to war. I didn't have people trying to kill me for no reason, which is absolutely horrible. And I can imagine that the trauma that is compiled from such an event is difficult, probably just as difficult as this is for me. That being said, talking about sexual abuse with anybody is a challenge for me. I'm still working on it with my boyfriend. Uh, the biggest thing that I noticed since I've been with someone that actually gives a crap, so shout out to my boyfriend Timothy, who is fantastic. Um, but he said that I internalize everything and I don't really talk. And I mean, I'm a chatterbox. I talk all the time. But what he means is that I don't really vocalize how I'm feeling. Um, a lot of people like me who have complex PTSD, we suffer from something that is called numbing. It's when certain emotions pop up, and instead of our body being like, ooh, an emotion, we should probably feel it. Right? Right. But it doesn't work that way. I'm 9 times out of 10, if I'm sad, I don't cry. I go silent. Um, Anger is a whole entirely different thing. And it's also because you feel those emotions more strongly when you have complex PTSD. Anger has, I say my anger has 3 levels. It's got the, I am irritated. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say nothing because I'm just going to get mad and start yelling nonsense. And then it's just going to be. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 is when the bonkers nonsense starts. I've actually caught myself while in a fight where I just say a string of nonsensical words. Because you're so angry and you know there's a reason you're angry. But because of how this disorder works, when you get to that point of rage, it's like the reason you're angry is just gone. Poof. It's not there no more. It has left the building. By the way, I have incense going. Um, Aromatherapy for anybody who has complex PTSD and you are struggling and you are having a hard time. Grab some nice smelling incense, something that makes you feel calm, something that gives you a sense of relief. Okay, that being said, back to the subject. So I get to that stage of anger and I'm just going like, but you did this and rawr, rawr. Yeah, just like that. That's how I get angry. All right, yeah. And then there is the third, where I get violent. Um, I've only gotten to that point twice in my life. My son was threatened, and I kind of went mama bear and went ballistic. Um, the second time was also to do with my child. I think that I've gained this overprotective, like over the top, like must protect the child. It's like the demon, the mother demon pours out, and it's just like, no, that's my child. Fuck off. um, yeah, so anger and emotions like that, they're fairly easy to escalate. Same with sad. I never cry when I'm sad, but I get to this, like, there are levels to that too, I find. There's your just run-of-the-mill sad. I call it that because that's what it is. It is just this overwhelming emotion of needing to be sad. You're just no apparent reason. I've been told that it could be an emotional flashback that I'm experiencing. I'm still coming to terms with everything with the complex PTSD, what that means, what triggers are, how to face them properly, and how to move forward. Complex PTSD is a lot more difficult with that because of the fact that we have variations of our emotions, variations of our flashbacks, and variations of our fears. So it comes down to a complicated notion of, can you rebuild yourself? So when you think that you're going to be able to talk to your children eventually about what you've gone through, you have to be able to understand it, to comprehend it. And at this point, I'm curious as to how that's going to go when my child is old enough to actually sit down and have this conversation with me. Because the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of darkness and there's a lot of bad things in this world. But it's getting the will to keep going that is the most important. And I think being able to talk to your kids about this stuff to some regard is important. And there needs to be more available for people with PTSD and CPTS, post-traumatic stress disorder, in order for us to be able to use these coping mechanisms. So this is my vlog. I am going to have another one after this. So this is going to be titled Third Vlog. But I do recommend listening to the next video that I post. It's about nightmares, daymares. It's about, I'm going to read some more of the nightmare. And it's about the physical adverse effects on the body, mind, and soul when it comes to complex PTSD. So that is what the next video is going to be about. It's going to be a lot longer than this one was. I don't know if anyone's watching these, but if they are, I implore you to get help in any way, shape, or form if you do not already have it. Medication is not for everybody, but treatment plans are, okay? Any good doctor will tell you that you do not necessarily have to be on big pharma medication. But there are so many treatment plans out there. There are so many ways to help yourself and help others. There are, and this is a good thing, that there is not a lot of people out there with CPTSD, or at least that it's not a nation-known thing. That means that, luckily, there's not been a lot of children or people in general hurt multiple times to cause this kind of thing. But the unlucky thing is having answers and someone to talk to about it. If you ever need advice on treatment plan, if you want to discuss that with me, message, jot down a comment. I don't care if you subscribe. I really don't. The whole point of this is to get, to put a voice out there, to say that, hey, this is what this is. This is what it's like to go through it. I do watch other people who do posts like this. One person very notably that I'd like to mention, if I can just find her here before I move forward with ending this video. Just 1 second. So just a second here while I pull this up. I just really want you guys to have all the forums and options that are available to you. And in order to do that, I want to provide you with the best options. So Post-Traumatic Victory, check her out. She is fantastic. She's been really helpful to me. Yeah, okay. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.